Welcome to the Executive Read from India HR Dialogue, where we give busy corporate leaders like you the insights you need to stay ahead of the curve.
We break down powerful books each episode to help you make smarter decisions as a leader.
So consider subscribing and joining our community of executives shaping India's future.
It's like a power-up for your leadership skills.
Exactly. And today, we're diving into Edward de Bono's 6 Thinking Hats.
Ah, a fascinating choice.
I know, right? It might sound a bit unusual, a book about hats.
Not the usual business read.
But trust me on this one.
I'm intrigued.
This book offers a powerful method for thinking more effectively.
I like the sound of that.
It's all about using these 6 metaphorical hats, each representing a different way to think.
So instead of just, thinking in a jumbled mess,
Exactly. We get to choose the best thinking hat for each situation.
it's like bringing order to that chaos in our minds.
Exactly. And it can transform the way we make decisions.
Okay, I'm ready to try on some hats.
Me too. So let's start with the white hat.
Okay, the white hat.
Now this one is all about being objective.
Ah, the champion of facts and figures.
Like a data processing machine, just focusing on the information.
No opinions or assumptions.
Right, just what do we know for sure?
So it's about establishing a common ground.
Before we jump into interpretation.
Exactly. Level setting the playing field.
I like that. So imagine you're in a board meeting
Okay, I'm picturing it.
and someone says, their market share is shrinking.
A common statement.
Right. But a white hat thinker would immediately ask,
What's the data behind that?
exactly, what data do we have to support that statement?
So it's about grounding the conversation in reality.
Exactly. And think about how this impacts team dynamics.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
It's less about personal opinions.
And more about shared understanding.
Right. And that can lead to better decisions.
It's about seeking truth together.
Now let's switch gears completely.
Okay, where are we going now?
Let's try on the red hat.
The red hat.
This is all about emotions, gut feelings, intuition.
Ah, acknowledging those feelings we all have.
It's saying this is how I feel without needing to justify it.
It's about giving those feelings a voice at the table.
Yes. Think about how valuable this could be in a negotiation.
Oh, I see. Like when your gut is screaming something's wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if you can't explain why.
You don't ignore those feelings.
Right. Because sometimes they're incredibly insightful.
Especially when it comes to people.
Because we're not robots. Emotions are part of the equation.
Emotions make us human.
Okay, so now let's move on to the black hat.
The black hat. All right, I'm intrigued.
This one is like that wise skeptic,
The voice of caution.
always pointing out potential pitfalls.
It's about stress testing ideas.
Exactly. So instead of just getting caught up in the excitement,
Like with a new product launch.
the black hat would ask,
Wait a minute, what about the competition?
yeah, what if competitors release something similar but cheaper?
What's our plan B?
It's all about anticipating those challenges.
So we don't make costly mistakes.
Exactly. And this is just the beginning.
We've only explored 3 hats so far.
3 down, 3 to go.
So much more to unpack.
And if you're already finding this intriguing,
I know I am.
you can dive even deeper into de Bono's insights.
That's a good idea.
We have a link in the show description to buy the book.
Perfect. And I think it's time for a quick break.
We'll be right back with the yellow, green, and blue hats.
Can't wait.
Stay tuned.
I will.
Welcome back to the show, where we're exploring Edward de Bono's 6 Thinking Hats.
Still 3 more hats to go.
Ready for the yellow hat?
Bring on the sunshine.
This one is all about optimism and possibility.
The bright side of thinking.
So while the black hat highlights risks,
Right, the cautious approach.
the yellow hat actively looks for the benefits and opportunities.
Even in tough situations.
So it's not, what if this fails?
But what if this succeeds?
Exactly. What are those potential upsides?
It's like deliberately shifting your focus.
Imagine a company facing declining market share.
A common business challenge.
A yellow hat thinker wouldn't dwell on those losses.
Right, they'd look for the silver lining.
They'd ask, what opportunities does this present?
Could this be a chance to innovate?
To tap into a new market?
To pivot and create something new?
Turning those challenges into catalysts for growth.
And that optimism can be contagious.
Right. It inspires teams to think differently.
To push their boundaries.
And now for a burst of creative energy.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Let's try on the green hat.
The green hat, the creative one.
This is all about innovation, fresh perspectives,
Thinking outside the box.
challenging the status quo.
Generating new ideas.
It's about asking, what else is possible?
What are the unconventional solutions?
It's like a brainstorming session for your mind.
where practicality takes a backseat.
Just exploring a wide range of ideas.
No matter how unconventional,
Imagine you're leading a team focused on employee engagement.
a crucial aspect for any organization.
The green hat would encourage you to think differently.
Not just the usual approaches.
What about a mentorship program?
Connecting senior leaders with new hires.
Or a platform for sharing innovative ideas?
Unleashing that collective creativity.
The possibilities are truly endless.
The green hat opens up so many doors.
And last but not least,
The final hat.
we have the blue hat,
The conductor of the orchestra.
making sure all the other hats work together.
Hat of control and organization.
And it's all about process.
Making sure our thinking is focused and productive.
It's like having a project manager for your thoughts.
Asking those key questions.
What's our objective? Which hats do we need?
What's the best sequence for using them?
Like in a strategic planning session.
Making sure we cover all the bases.
Starting with the facts.
The white hat territory.
Then exploring the risks.
The black hat's domain.
Brainstorming innovative solutions.
Time for the green hat.
And evaluating the feasibility.
Bringing back the yellow and black hats.
It's about using the right hat at the right time.
Leading to better outcomes.
Now, you might be thinking, how do I actually apply this?
A valid question.
And that's exactly what we'll explore next.
The practical applications of these colorful hats.
Stay tuned. It's amazing how these 6 hats each represent a different way of thinking.
And the real magic happens when we combine them.
Like a dance of different perspectives.
It's not just for teams, though.
Oh, you mean?
You can use this for personal decisions, too.
Like what? Give me an example.
Say you're facing a tough career choice.
Okay, like whether to stay in my current role
Or take a new opportunity, a big leap.
Yeah, that kind of decision.
The hats can guide you, help you evaluate your options.
Okay, walk me through it.
Let's say you're considering a new job offer.
Okay.
Start with the white hat, gather the facts.
Like the salary, benefits, growth prospects.
Exactly. Then put on the red hat. How do you feel?
Does this opportunity excite me? Make me nervous?
What's your gut telling you?
Okay, then.
Now the black hat. Analyze the risks.
What if the company culture isn't a good fit?
What if the role isn't what you expected?
Right, thinking through those potential downsides.
Then shift to the yellow hat. Focus on the benefits.
Okay, so how would staying in my current role help my long-term goals?
And how might the new job accelerate your growth?
I wouldn't want to forget the green hat.
Ah, yes. Brainstorming time.
Maybe I could negotiate a better deal in my current role.
Or explore a side project, something you're passionate about.
And then finally,
The blue hat steps in.
to help make that final decision.
Considering all the thinking you've done,
Like having a personal board of advisors.
each hat representing a different perspective.
So why should our listeners care about all this? What's the takeaway?
It's about developing mental agility, being flexible.
Which is crucial for any leader.
Especially in today's world, things change so fast.
It's about moving beyond our usual way of thinking.
Being able to choose the best approach for each situation,
And that leads to better decisions, clearer communication.
we become more effective leaders.
So to wrap up this deep dive into 6 thinking hats.
3 actionable steps for our listeners.
First, reflect on your own thinking. Which hat do you wear most often?
Are you naturally optimistic, cautious, or data-driven?
Understanding your default mode is key.
Second, experiment with consciously using the different hats.
See what happens when you shift your perspective.
You might be surprised by the insights you gain.
And third, share this method with your team.
See how it improves communication and collaboration.
It can really transform your work environment.
And if you want to dive deeper into de Bono's work,
We highly recommend checking out the book.
you'll find a link in the episode description.
It's a must-read for any leader.
Absolutely. It can transform your thinking.
And that's a wrap on this episode of The Executive Read.
Thanks for joining us.
Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into impactful books.
We'll see you next time.
Until then, keep leading and keep reading.